All right, what is going on, you fuckers? I guess, for lack of a better term. We have to paint today because I need this guy for tomorrow. I could technically just use whatever model I felt like using, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to try to get this guy painted up. Turn down a little bit for me. Okay. I was gonna do these. What are these called? What the hell are these things called? Not Spriggan. Atronach. Flame Atronachs. I was gonna do these. God, I just don't want to paint any more of them. I've only painted the one and I didn't enjoy it. I'm not technically even done with it. But I have 2 more to paint. I just don't want to. But we'll get to those at some point. If y'all want me to do them on stream, I will. Otherwise, I will just have to take what tiny little bit of oomph that I get at some point to do them. But this guy needs to get done, so we could use him tomorrow, because I think we're going to stream downstairs tomorrow. So, yeah. I got a couple bases because I want to do a test of the Dark Brotherhood. Actually looking forward to trying to paint those guys. So we're probably going to do that at some point. But I actually grabbed a reference of one of the guys that I had painted already, and I did not paint his little leg straps. It happens. I'd considered, instead of going broadsword silver, which is just the silver that I had, going polished silver and Nuln Oil. I think that would probably look better. It's a lighter silver. But then he would look different, and that would bug me. And that is just the trap that you fall into with painting large quantities of things, is that you do kind of end up with stuff. And in my case, I don't want to change that stuff because then it's going to look different than all the other stuff. I don't really want to repaint all the other things. Also, from the last time, I got another gold that I do not have a slot for on my rack, so that's going to... But either way, let's just get straight into getting some colors on this guy. I'm going to go ahead and block, I think, all of the brown. Probably going to have to mix up a skin tone. It's kind of that like yellowy green. I mean, honestly, that thin down might actually just work straight out. So we'll see on that. But let's go ahead and get some brown. And of course, we're using Fire Drake. I will do the straps a different color, even though it would be easy just to hit them all brown, but we'll cross that bridge at some point. There's little kind of silver plates on these little tassel things. I will just do that after with a regular metallic silver. I'll just go over and dot those in. Also, my camera seemed to not want to be focusing correctly. So if it gets all out of whack, just holler at me. I'll try to get it squared away. You know, it's kind of hard to paint and talk at the same time. Most time you're painting, you're almost like holding your breath and trying to be still and talk. Kind of adds a whole nother thing to it, actually. I'm going down a rabbit hole currently because there's a couple things. One is The Walking Dead All-Out War. I am interested in it. I looked at it, I think when it relaunched in probably, 24? And it seemed kind of interesting, and then I kind of forgot about it. They're actually doing a mini factory campaign currently. I don't think I really would want to do that, even though it's relatively cheap, because I would want the dice. So I might need to look, trying to see if you can see anything there. And the fact that I'm struggling means that you probably can't. It's not that big of a deal. Part of the STLs that you get is to print dice. And I don't really want to do that, to be honest. I want to just have like the correct colored, like proper dice. I'm okay with minis and all of that kind of stuff, but like, I don't know, dice. So I might have to see on that. You also get some terrain and stuff in the little starter bundle. So I'm thinking about that. I am also thinking about Fallout Wasteland Warfare whenever that new edition comes out. That's one that I've wanted to try, and the fact that they are doing that new edition is surprising and good for somebody like me who didn't want to really bother with it because it seemed even more complicated than Call to Arms. And on top of that, they're focusing more on the solo narrative stuff. I would assume because you got faction warfare, or Fallout Factions, or whatever it's called, in their stable now that can cover the PvP fix with the same minis. So it does make sense for them just to focus on the narrative stuff with Wasteland Warfare. But I'll be curious to see how all that works. On top of that, there's Halo Flashpoint, And my weird feelings with that game in general, that I still kind of want to play and pick up the Noble Team box. So, I don't know. Part of the problem with all of this is that you know how much I love my terrain and how much I hate painting terrain. That playing a game like Fallout, very much so, kind of wants specific, you know, a specific flavor, right? For it to be what it should be. And in the same vein, Walking Dead's kind of similar. Nothing that I really have would translate super well to The Walking Dead. So, I don't really know. I'm kind of in a weird spot all around, if I'm being honest. I just love this brown so much. I think Fire Drake might be my favorite speed paint, period, to be honest. Just the way that it settles and dries and everything, it just basically always does and looks exactly how I would want it to look. And all speed paints are not created equal, I don't think. This is such a small, almost inconsequential step. It's such a tiny amount of space, and you're not really gonna see it, but I do feel like it is these really small things that actually, you know, pay off more in the long run. It's kind of, you know, death by 1,000 cuts, but whatever the opposite of that would be. Trying not to spend a ton of time painting the bottom of this, but it is like a really odd angle that might actually catch in some capacity. I think that is all of the leather. And I finally went through my brushes and threw away all the old ones. I also still have this guy that needs to be painted, but I don't really feel like it. And he's got a weird, see that? Like a 3D print line through his torso. Which that's the kind of stuff for my own stuff especially, I don't really particularly care about. Let's go ahead and do the metal so that it can set. Run this mixer, sorry. And actually on all of these dudes, I did this speed paint and then I actually went in and like did some edge highlighting with white just to add a little bit of extra like comic-y nature to them, a little bit more, I don't know, interest when they're tabletop distance away from you.
There's always been a Baggins.
Where am I sitting? Where I'm sitting? Oh, my legs. Wow. Actually, what color is this dude's hair? I don't have it up anymore. I feel like it was like damn near the same color as the skin. Maybe it's just blonde. I don't know. I'll look it up when we get there. I am gonna try basically just do the big heavy pieces in this broadsword silver, and then I want to do the chainmail with the polished silver known oil, and we'll see what that looks like. Try this cheap brush for the metallic.
Welcome to Rivendell, Frodo Baggins.
That is one bad thing about getting these mini factory campaigns is, yeah, you could buy it basically just for the stuff that you want out of it, and it would still be worthwhile. But in my head, I'm like, I need to print and paint all of it just in case. But man, I'm not looking forward to painting more Stormcloaks or Imperials. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not terrible, but it's not like painting like a Stormtrooper or something. Like, it's not the quickest thing in the world. All right. Back is killing me. There's metallics, I noticed, sure. Prone to flooding. So try to be very careful when doing these tiny little areas. Oh, also, there is a another painting video coming out, I think on Friday, painting the Draugr walls. So if you are curious as to how I painted those, there's a whole video of how I did that step by step coming on Friday. I am kind of trying to be a little more mindful of when I am actually doing stuff to try to record the process of how I'm doing it, specifically because of the perspective. I'm going to do the silver with a different silver just so it's a little bit differentiated from the rest of it. Something that seems really simple and straightforward for me, that might not be the case for everybody. And with the Draugr walls, they ended up being a very simple formula for what I think is a really good, easy result to obtain. And for people who, again, might not know or think about doing it in that way, might help them get where they're trying to go. So I'm trying. It's always kind of a pain. What's up, Banana? Thank you. Don't appreciate the sub, man. But yeah, I'm not the greatest painter by any means, but again, there's always everybody's their own worst critic. So even stuff that I think might not be worth recording, I'm gonna probably try to record, just if it benefits somebody else in some capacity. There you go. Also always kind of hard when you're doing metallic anything with lighting, to tell if you're actually hitting everything that you think you're trying to. Again, I'm going to try to do mainly just the plates, and then I want to try to do the polished silver for the pane. That's going to be a little bit easier said than done, but we'll see. This is where things get a little dicey because I need to move kind of quick to keep my seams clean, but also, keep the paint clean. really primarily concerned about not hitting his face, so that I can keep that zenithal intact. Or the thin down green yellow that's probably going to end up on him around these little pauldron shoulder things. I'm trying to be extra careful. A little bit of extra, but that's okay. And I gotta be careful try not to spill this all over this brown strap. It's kind of funny. I find myself, what's up, Annie? I find myself almost like not being able to breathe doing these because, again, I'm talking a bunch. Unless y'all want me to shut the hell up, then I could do that. But then I'm also painting, so I'm like really focused. And again, that kind of like combination of you kind of hold your breath at points to be as still as you can and talking a bunch, you know. It's like breathing very slow. Which, speaking of dying, Annie, are you still dying? Or is after some sleep, is it for the most part kind of passed? Also, it kind of helps if you do kind of mess something up a little bit, at least mess it up uniformly so that it doesn't stand out. You know what I mean? I guess. Yeah, but did some good old-fashioned sleep at least help that go away for the most part. Yeah. Yeah, you got that. You got the throw up abs. So I need to kind of let that sit. Again, it's hard to tell sometimes with these metallics if you actually hit what you think you hit. But there's also going to be the bright silver and spots. There's the skin tone. We could do the fur on the boots, which I'm going to be lazy and just call that a pallid bone speed paint. And that'll be just fine. For furs, sometimes I'll do skeleton bone with Agrax Earthshade over it. It is a slight tonal difference, but for nice, easy boot fur like this, I think pallid bone, especially once it dries and isn't so aggressively bright, it'll be fine. Okay. Now, there is also going to be some red, but I am curious. Let me see. Have it over here. Work. Not logged in, son of a. Hold on. Curious what color to do the sword sheath. I was gonna do like a bony, kind of like a brown color. But now I also why I'm kind of leaning toward like a red or something. Curious if you can even see it in their reference pictures. I mean, it kind of just looks brown. So I think I might just do it that weird color, and that'll just be that. Now, it does look like around the neck it should be brown and then red. Like he's got some sort of under piece on. I don't... Do I care enough to try to do that? I didn't do that on anybody else, so... I ain't doing it on this guy. Something we can do. Nah, we'll go ahead and do some of this. I grabbed it. I did not. I think we're just gonna try this for the sheath and the boot straps and probably the handle on the sword. Bony matter, which I also love. Does look like it should just be like this, probably the same brown as the leather, but you know what? I don't think he cares. I also kind of go back and forth on painting buckles. Depending on the buckle and where it's at, sometimes I will. Tiny little ones on the sides of boots like that. I don't know. I just can't be bothered sometimes, to be honest. Okay. Oh man. I can't even really show you the Elder Dragon. I've got one more piece to print for the wing, and that bitch is gonna be like 2 foot wide. I mean, he's huge. So I am half-assed trying to decide if I want to try to paint him in a video. I don't know how I would even go about doing something that big. And he's probably going to be black and gray, like Alduin, and that's going to be kind of boring. I don't know. I'll have to think on that one, figure that one out. Let's do... Wow. Yeah, we'll see. it's easier for me to record stuff when I kind of have a game plan going into it, and there are times that I absolutely don't have a game plan, and that is kind of one of them. Sort of black prime, some dry brushing, maybe some light gray airbrush on the wings, but I don't know. I kind of have an idea, maybe, but the reality of how that actually plays out, I'm not sure. I kind of just feel my way through the first dragon, and then this one's significantly larger, so. Let's go ahead. Don't want to do the bright silver yet. Let's go ahead and pick out the silver on his little tassel things. Ugh. I'm actually gonna try. I think on all the other ones I used that game color silver. I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna use this gunmetal from Fanatics. And we'll just use this little. On my paint desk, I've got little white, like, bath cups, like you'd rinse your mouth out with or something. Well, yeah, no shit. Because I use them for all sorts of things, including sticking minis to the bottom of. I don't know why. But the other thing is like sauce cups, and I'll use them for mixing up various different things, but then that also gives me a bunch of lids. So I use the lids for kind of tiny little disposable palettes that I can just throw away when I'm done with them. I feel like the Fanatics paints are typically pretty good right out of the thing, but okay. You legitimately have to remind yourself to breathe. And typically in my case, I'm like intentionally breathing very slowly. So it's not that I'm not breathing, just kind of not breathing fast enough to notice. Oh yeah.
I'm glad you're with me.
Again, this is one of the more tedious parts of this, but just this one little thing adds a ton to it, so it's worth doing it and trying to make it clean. That is the one bad thing about speed paint, is if you mess something up, it's kind of hard to fix it. And because these little chevron things are kind of embossed, I am lightly kind of dragging around on the shape and kind of letting it paint itself, if that makes sense. I'm not, it's like a weird edge highlight kind of. All right, well, that got all sorts of jacked up right there, but I also am not gonna lie, you wouldn't have known had I not said it, so I take it back. Oh yeah, look at that. Ah, so shiny. Love that. Yeah, honestly, I should just throw away that game color silver, and honestly, I might, because it's just that bad. Now, I know that game color reformulated, so they went from like these to this glossy. I really liked all the colors I've gotten in this, and I've hated almost all the colors I've gotten in it. So take that for what you will. Ah, my back is all right, now while that dries, we'll go ahead and hit the teeny tiny little amount of red that's on these guys. We're just using a good old-fashioned slaughter red for this. His hair is kind of the literal same color as his face, so honestly, his whole head might just get hit with that same color that we use for his skin, because he's just kind of all the same color.
Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
Side. All right, get it. Tiny little bit right in the middle, which, you know, I'm not gonna read super crazy because it's so kind of up under and dark. Okay. Now, the only other bit of red is his little t-shirt sleeves. So, this we've got to try to do carefully. Try not to flood out anything. And the red is, you know, not crazy, but it is a little more potent than some of this, so it would kind of overtake a little bit of it. It's already kind of got a little bit on that metallic. That I think I, for the most part, can cover up. And there's a little bit on that arm, but again, it's kind of close enough that I'm not worried about it. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Oh, nope. Not done with the red yet. Gotta do the even more stressful part around his head. Like a little... like a little poof right at his neck, and he's kind of got a V kind of collar. I don't think that's as bad as it could have been, but I also can't. Hard to tell. This is where, like, almost playing with the lighting, trying to cast shadows into some of these tiny spots to help define the lines that you're looking at. In some of these cases, it's really hard to tell. Like on his right side, it kind of looks like there's still fabric. And again, this is stuff that nobody will ever really see. So that, I think that's okay. A little bit of color in there. Moving right along. Let's go ahead and hit the bright silver on the sword and the chainmail, which again, I'm gonna try polished silver and some Nuln oil for that. Fun fact, this polished silver, I think, came from a little store in Nashville. That was one of the travel trips, and we were looking around for game stores, and I wanted to grab that silver in particular. Don't remember what that little shop was called, unfortunately. There was a couple cool stores though in around Nashville. Oh, Annie, if you're still there, did you watch the stuff for White Fox for Marvel Rivals. Damn, what are you doing? Slacking. I don't really, I guess, have any feelings at all toward it, to be honest. I just character, I guess. Thank God, at least. To be fair, all those breakdowns, I don't ever know what the hell's happening. So I don't really know until I actually get into the practice range and can play with him. But thankfully, she only had like 2 buttons, kind of like invis. It's like three things, little abilities on the screen. So hopefully she's not gonna be like stupid and complicated. Hopefully she's just a nice, straightforward character for once. But we'll just have to wait and see. But she is a healer, so. Yeah, I haven't really looked at anything. I mean, I've seen stuff on the Reddit. Now, Reddit hates everything, but people are like very negative about this upcoming season, because it kind of seems like a lot of the stuff that people have had problems with, they still really aren't touching a whole lot, and they're buffing things that maybe didn't really even need it and not touching up. It's just like the whole thing is like, okay, really? You know, people kind of give you the benefit of the doubt for the half season, and now we're going into the full season and it's kind of all the same, and people, I guess, are just kind of getting exhausted with it. No, it's hard to say. I don't really play Mag much at all, so I don't really know. I guess Strange was a little more. I guess Strange could have used a tiny little hit, but I don't think he really needed to be touched. I don't really think Mag needed to be touched. I think Hulk getting a buff, which I think he did, is kind of fine. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I've had 8,300 things to do and about enough time in a day to do like 6 of them. Oh, my back. God dang. You know what? You're right. It was a good call for that color on the sheath. It is still in family, different enough to make it different. I think I kind of want to go ahead and hit the skin. Now I'm gonna try this, and I'm gonna try to thin it down and see what she looks like. I don't think I've ever used this color since I'm...
Welcome to Rivendell, Frodo Baggins.
Just get one little drop in there. Oh. Thinking a 2-to-1 ratio maybe get us where we want to go. Oh, this green still looks rather potent, but hell, maybe that's the point. I almost feel like it's too green. Almost like it needs a little bit of yellow, but I don't want to do that. Let's give it 2 more drops. How is it the same color? You know what? I think we're just gonna do it because I know for a fact I just thinned it down some more. So let's just go for it. I kind of regret going for it. It's very green. Oh no. Oh. You know what? Maybe he needs to be green. Maybe we could mix up a paint and do some highlighting of sorts to tone that down. The dog is snoring behind me. So if you can hear that, I apologize. She's out like a light. I forgot a sliver of spot back here that needs to get hit with that silver hint. Too quick, too antsy to move on to the Incredible Hulk. Oh, he's so green. Son of a bitch. Well, yeah, I think she looks pretty neat. Trying to think if there's a speed paint maybe I could do over that would tint it yellow. Oh, That seems like a Hail Mary if I've ever said it. He's green, but shit, man, he ain't that green. It's like a very desaturated green. Let me grab some sliver. Think about it. Well, while that mess settles, I guess we'll go ahead and grab a bit of white. Let's see about doing a teeny tiny little bit of edge highlighting. And I say that loosely. I'm not great at it. That's kind of the problem, is I want it to be kind of potent, but also kind of not at the same time. I almost apply like a non-metallic metal mentality when I'm doing this. Again, just to give it a little bit more, I don't know, definition. Especially when it's far away from you. he's green. Alright, I'm trying to get him lit up so that I can see. And to do that, I kind of need to get him, like, not directly under light, but adjacent to it so that it's not reflecting, but I can see him. It's a weird circumstance.
Nine rings were gifted to the race of men, who above all else desire power.
With a little bit of irregularity in this, I think. All these spots. No, I'm not even gonna worry about those little foot plates. God bless America, he's great. Ow. Sprue. Be owned down, and this is where my color theory struggles. I don't know what color he should actually be, to be honest. Way too much. I go desaturated yellow, desaturated green. Close, actually. Let's pursue that a little. Trying to lean a little more into the yellow. Right, I've got green spilling over into this, so that's not helping. That is certainly a little more yellow. He's still so green. That means all the yellow.
Go back, Sam! Going to Mordor alone. Of course you are. Then I'm coming with you!
You know what? I give up. He's just going to be kind of green, and that it's just the way it's going to be. Because hell, even that yellow, I don't feel like it's going anywhere. And you think he would look less green with yellow. But no, he still just looks green. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is green. You know. But screw it, here I am. Still messing with it. Whatever. Alright, I don't mean to throw him in the floor. Is he okay? It's okay. Alright, we need to get some Nolan oil on this sucker. A little over an hour.
Sam, I'm glad you're with me.
so green. Jeez. I mean, to be fair, he's really green in their thing. This is almost too saturated of a green. And hell, maybe yellow actually makes green more saturated. Maybe I'm an idiot. Possible. I just take this straight olive drab. I kind of don't like that as much. Honestly, I'd rather him almost just be neon, I think. Just a second, I will go back over that. Yeah, I almost kind of prefer the yellowy green. I do think, for the most part, he's kind of done. I just have to paint the eyes, but that is a whole other thing shortly. His base, and you already know, we are gonna just hit this guy with a little bit of stippling, nice and quick. And then we'll speed paint some of these details, probably put a little bit of thin down brown in here.
It's done. Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
Kind of forgot about his ears, and his ears ended up very dark, so brighten those up a smidge because they would catch light. Absolutely. I am terrible at painting faces. I tried to go extra kind of exaggerative with the zenithal. I like got real close and focused on his face to intensify the light part because I kind of knew where I was going to be going with that, and that helps. But as far as like highlighting and where you highlight, it doesn't seem to matter how many videos I watch. It doesn't ever seem to. And his eyes are going to be awful to paint because they are tiny. So at this point, we're going to be looking for a representation of eyes, and that's about it. Let's see if I've got a brush that I feel any better about. I don't really like using the long brushes because I feel like I can't ever actually, like, my depth perception's too shoddy. That's more like a... Okay, well... To be honest, I don't think I really even need black for this, but it will never fail that the right eye, for whatever reason, his left eye, I guess, will always end up worse, and I don't really know why that is. I almost feel like you've got better access to that eye than the other eye. And then you get into this balancing act of trying to make them match. Always a fool's errand.
The lonely mantle.
Okay. Well, that black set for just a minute. Grab some white. Okay. I don't really have a whole lot of stuff that has grass on it for Call to Arms, so I ain't gonna start now. And again, this base will definitely get snow on it, so honestly, I'm probably gonna thin this at least a drop. Just make it a little less potent. Probably still gonna be a little more brown than I want. That's alright, actually. So this is like one drop of fire drake, like, or half a drop of fire drake, like kind of 1 drop of medium and 1 drop of bony matter, and that's just fine. Give us a little bit of wiggle room because it's thinned. That is fine. And when it's this thin, you can kind of push it around to kind of blend it, maybe make a little more sense than having like harsh dirt to rocks, because at a miniature scale, I don't think you'd really see it that way. And I might be stalling because I don't want to paint these eyes. Shut up. Okay. We can do it. What sucks is you want this like stark white in as easy a path as you can get it. And then you do that and you take too long and you don't have anything. That is kind of one of my struggles. I feel like I've got too much currently. That just won't give me anything. Bam. Let's try this a different way. Looks like too much.
Concerning hobbits.
I hate painting eyes. Especially this guy, he's got really small eyes. Not awful. He's a little close to the middle.
There's always been a Baggins living here under the hill. In Baggin. There always will be.
Shouldn't take this long to paint 2 teeny tiny little speckles, but it does. Well, for the paintingly challenge. I need the light. Now I feel like I need to try to trim like a speckle of that off with black. It's always a dumb idea. You know what? Little speckle, I think, is still there, and it's gonna bug me. That's very close. I'll take it. Not that y'all could see any of that, but desperate times. Now, the fun part, which I'm actually going to paint in the exact same way because it's easier to see. It's always a pain to do this. Doesn't seem like the paint can ever get the right consistency. You know what? Hey, I'm taking that. I don't even feel like I'm gonna be able to see his green ass. No, I'll take it. He's kind of looking in the right direction, especially under the shadow of his brow. It's noticeable enough. God, he's green. He is slightly less green in my hand, but he is very green. I might try to change that at some point because it is aggressive. But my efforts were fruitless, and he is green, but it's like a very weird green. So you know what? I think I'm just gonna live with that for now, and that's fine. Other than that, he's pretty plain Jane. Relatively straightforward. The base, though, we got to finish the base. So he's got a little jar,
There's always been a baggage
a cup that
living here.
kind of looks like it has stuff in it. I'm not going to worry about that leaf because that leaf's going to get covered up. I think we have to go gold for the cup, or bronze. This bronze, though, does not like to be used. It settles really bad, and I don't feel like it ever really ends up looking bronze, to be honest, because most of its pigment and its color gets stuck. Let's see. Yeah, see, I feel like it's... Hold on.
Welcome to Rivendell, Frodo Baggins.
It's like so gummed up. I don't get it. None of the other colors do that. It's just this one. Whether or not that really helps is a whole other thing. Well, it is instantly brighter in color, so hey, that's something. Yeah, look at that. We got colors now. And it's metallic. Nice. Okay, now think go for a nice feeling like a dark green, a dark green glass bottle or something maybe. Try this camo cloak. Well, kind of hate it, but that's okay. It can get mostly covered with snow. That's brown, that's bronze, green. I'll just grab a drop of this for the label. It doesn't need to be anything special. And a dude like this that is mostly metallic will not get any sort of clear coat or anything. God, he looks like a damn alien. Granted, hold on. Hold your horse for just a second. I feel like I lost my... I feel like he still ended up green, and he should be nothing else. Mostly yellow. A little bit more yellow tone anyways. I don't care if his hair's kind of green. I can live with that. Yep, nope, he still just looks green. I don't know. I give up. What's up, Zonus? Oh yeah, my thumb paints. Zonus, you're just in time for my green alien. Absolutely unintentional. And he looks yellow and green all simultaneously, and that is obnoxious, actually. Man, he's gonna have to get. I don't know. Maybe there's a. This is Elder Scrolls. So these are by Modifius. This is Elder Scrolls called Arms. So this is one of the like Imperial fellas. So this is from their My Mini Factory Chapter 2 campaign, which came with Dark Brotherhood, some adventurers, some more Imperial, some more Stormcloak. One of the Dark Brotherhood minis right there. This guy needed to be painted up today for a report that we're doing tomorrow. And I don't love him. He's so green. And my color theory blows. And that just is what it is. Can't win them all. I will try to show you this dragon. So this is the original dragon that they'd released, right? But he's like, you can see him in my hands. He's already too big to be a mini. This guy, which you could see in my hand, he doesn't. How are you ever supposed to use this in the game? This is an official Modifius Dragon Mini. He has a unit card and everything. And he's huge. Let's see if you could just see the... See if we can get a head comparison, because that's probably about all that'll fit. So there you go. You got the old dragon and the new dragon, and how much bigger it is. It's ridiculous. So yes, this doesn't really even fit in my painting space. I don't know how I would paint this for a video. I will have to get creative with that. We will see. Because I don't want to paint him earth tones like I did this one. I already did this one. That guy, before I saw how big he was, I was already planning, like, I assumed he was just this dragon, just in a different pose. Absolutely not. So that dragon's probably going to get black and like a light gray wing tone. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Well, let's see. We've been going for almost 2 hours. I think we might wrap this up here. We will be doing these guys at some point. These flame atronachs. I am trying to use these painting streams as a way to keep myself responsible and get these done, because you guys have seen it before. We still have a lot to do. So there will be plenty more of these coming. So if y'all like this kind of stuff, you can hit the sub button, hit the follow button. We'll be doing more of this at some point. We will be live tomorrow evening, actually playing some Elder Scrolls Call to Arms, and I'm kind of doing like a unique mashup between two different things. So it's kind of a unique thing that we're going to do tomorrow as far as the game mode goes, but we'll figure that out tomorrow. There's a video for painting tomb walls, none of which I have up here, coming out on Friday. So interested, that'll be on the YouTube channel. All right, that is going to do it. Appreciate you guys sitting here hanging out with me. I will see y'all tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys.
The power of the dark side.